Welcome to this video about Batterite CamCrew. In this video I will go through the lens settings of the camera and show you what you can do with that. First of all, we need to take out the preview window and make it large so we see what we are doing. Then we need camera movement, and we need to activate that because in steady and handheld mode is the only modes where these lens settings actually apply. So we first need to make sure it's turned on, and then we can just minimize it and put it away. Then we need the lens settings, maximize that and activate it. Now, we have a bunch of settings here. First of all, motion blur or camera motion blur is not really active, so let's skip that. Let's look at the field of view settings. So you can just grab it and move it back and forth, and the value and the image will change in real time. Let's put it a little bit lower because that looks a little bit more cinematic. Next, we have the focus length. This is a little bit trickier to show. We first need to switch up the other settings so the depth of field or focus effect are much more pronounced. So first off, if we lower the focus size, which means that the amount of the depth that is actually in focus is much more shallow, so there's more stuff out of focus. Then let's increase the aperture. This value represents how blurry the blurry parts of the image are going to look. So now we see the actual effect a lot more pronounced. So you can see the dangling thing here, the light, it's out of focus right now. And you can see the other one at the other side is more in focus. And you can see the characters are in focus. It's a little bit tricky to see unless you're doing it yourself. But what we can do now is that we can change the focus length and you will see it more. So now everything close to you are in focus, and now the one over there is in focus. It's easier when you try it out to get a feel for it. If you don't want to control that in real time with the slider, you can use one of these two autofocus. The first one is ground focus, which means that it will try to focus on the zero plane of the y-axis. So you can see now everything which is in the zero plane is in focus. But the problem with it is that if you tilt it above so it doesn't actually cross the zero plane of the ground, everything is out of focus. You can see it doesn't, this ray doesn't touch the ground anywhere. And you can see everything is completely out of focus. So the better approach is to use the target focus, which means it's basically going to follow that, that cross instead. So you can see now Shifu there is getting in focus. Let's see here. In focus and out of focus as the cross is close to him or further away from him. Yeah, all these settings is a lot easier to play around with and understand when you get to try it. And you can see the length, focus length actually changes in real time as you do this. Let's look at another menu while we're at it, about the visual appearance of what you're filming. So let's take a look at the visuals menu. So I'm just going to put this away and I'm going to bring out the visuals. And if we turn it on, you will see there's some settings that activates. The first one is fog distance, which is a simple fog. You can see it from this angle a little bit better, and normally you just put it at 100 when you are making movies or clips of any sort. Then we have light strength, which is what you expect it to be. And we have light range. So these values are normally, you just max out light range and you have light strength somewhere where it looks like you want it to look. So you have an even flow of light over the whole map. Because when you play Batterite, it's not evenly lit normally. Then we have a whole bunch of switches here. They turn on and off different visual elements of the game. So let's just go through them. First off, Fog of War. then HUD on off, and scoreboard, and we have hit effects, which is, you know, the white little flash you get on your character when you get hit. That doesn't show too well in cinematic settings, so you can turn it off if it doesn't fit, which is good. Then we have aim preview, which is the same deal. Doesn't really show that well in videos, so you can turn it off. Right now they aren't doing anything with the aim, so we don't see any aim either way. Then player circle, the circle underneath the characters, you can turn that off. And we have orb and health shards on and off. If that's in the way for a video, you can just turn it off. And then we actually have mounts. You can actually turn off the whole mount so it doesn't show when they run around. The characters will still run as fast as they do with mounts, but without, so it looks kind of funny. But you can get rid of it if you want to. One thing to keep in mind is that aim preview, player circle, and score is only possible to see when you have the HUD on. When you switch off the HUD, those three are really turned off altogether. So thanks for watching this video about CamCrew, and I hope to see you in the next one.